part about that post-game show at night. Because I get a little emotional, a little bit.
Wait, you?
Yeah, a little bit. We start, and I'm just like,
the goose
I'm
is
having
shocked.
a meltdown. I was disheveled to start. Festus goes, you forgot my name. I go, no, I'm just trying to process what just happened. They blew a 24-point lead.
You should call Brock Purdy next time. He processes quicker than you.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm a little, I was a little in shock.
I'm going to tell you right now, though. This
gosh.
is we're reaching a point where it feels like to me, we're reaching a point where it's undeniable. Your resume matters more than your form. And the thing I love the most about pro sports, and specifically, all of the pro sports, but in the NFL more than any other, if you're not good, they get rid of you immediately.
Yep.
Right? And is it dog eat dog? Hell yeah, it is. Navarro Bowman gave his body to the 49ers. Frank Gore's the guy I referenced earlier, gave his body to the 49ers. And boom, you're out the door. And these guys know to some degree it's a business. This situation always felt different because they kept their core together longer than anyone. You see the stats all the time. More games than anybody, I think the other 3 pairings since blah, 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 1950 or something like that. And it felt different, but it does feel like it's coming to a thudding crash. Yeah. And part of why is the allegiance to the old guard while disrespecting or disregarding, disregarding who's in form. We're reaching an inflection point.
You know what, though? And I hate to say this, if people are going to throw tomatoes at me and say I'm an apologist, but there's been no allegiance to Klay Thompson. He doesn't have a contract. Draymond, we know, is here for the next 4 years.
Yeah, they made him play it out.
They made him play, but he had the player option.
Yeah, I guess that's different.
You know what I'm saying?
But they didn't.
Klay has no player option. Klay has no player option.
But didn't Draymond? And I know that is a big difference.
That is a huge difference.
But like CP3 doesn't have a player option.
Team option. Okay. The CP3 knows he just got traded here. He's not loyal to the soil. Now he's been a total professional. But these guys been here for decades. So we say the allegiances to the big 3. Well, the big 3 may get broken up after the season. That's a legit possibility. That Klay Thompson may be the odd man out. And if you're Klay Thompson, you're thinking to yourself, and I'm not trying to pit teammates versus teammates or anything like that, but it's like, man, Draymond got $100 million after basically taking accountability for fracturing the culture and losing leadership. And he got the $100 million on top of a player option.
But, when I listen to, like, Eddie DeBartolo talk about the 80s or Carmen Policy talk about the 80s with the Niners.
My whole point, Shasky, is just like, it's not a commitment yet. Not a commitment yet to the big 3.
But where I'm going with this is like, and you've heard Steve Kerr reference this, like, we're in Camelot. When you're winning and you're winning 66 games every single year. And, wow, we get Kevin Durant. Like, you're floating on cloud 9. This is the real NBA, right? Where you're scratching and clawing and you're making ridiculously difficult decisions on the current and future of your organization. How this whole thing started, they traded one of the most beloved Warriors at the time in Monte Ellis to get a guy who had a microfracture injury and was out for the year in Andrew Bogut.
But at the same time, and this is where it's going to be interesting with Mike Dunleavy to see how much juice he has in terms of making personnel moves. Because Bob Myers and company weren't loyal to Monte Ellis. They didn't draft Monte Ellis.
No.
That wasn't their guy.
No.
So for them, it's probably easier to trade a Monte Ellis.
Of course it
is. These guys with Joe Lacob and stuff, they've watched these 3 guys help them win 4 championships and have parades and build Chase Center and become one of the most valuable franchises in North America, like in the world, probably. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little tougher to move on and trade with these guys, which is why Draymond got the $100 million and the player option.
Yeah, but who does Joe Lacob always reference? Eddie D. And Eddie D did make some cutthroat, savage decisions.
Well, he didn't want to trade Joe Montana. He had to be talked into it. And then he wanted to rescind it, and it was like too late. Joe Montana was like, all right, you got to deal with the Chiefs, dude. Trade me to Kansas City.
But B, like, these are the tough decisions you have to make, right?
I agree.
To stay on top if you want to stay on top.
I agree.
And I just think that a lot of Warrior fans, not everybody, but here's a lot of Warrior fans thought all 3 guys were going to ride off into the sunset and it was going to be great.
But here's the deal. It's
not how it works.
Here's the deal, though. Okay. I'll entertain a conversation because the obvious one is
they're not trading anybody. There's no, who wants these guys?
Well, trades are the expiring contract, so maybe there's some value there.
Maybe.
But I tell you what, if Klay ended up on a team like the Lakers, I'd be very, very worried about that. Because LeBron James driving the kick, what does LeBron James love? Shooters all around him. You can't tell me Klay Thompson wide open is still not one of the most devastating shooters in the league. if he's wide open. And guess what? If you play with LeBron James and a team like that, guys who could break down the dribble and dribble, drive, penetrate, and create open shots for others, you want to leave Klay Thompson open on the three-point line? Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
I mean,
this team, this personnel just may not fit. That's why I brought it up a couple weeks ago. Said, okay, I'll entertain Klay coming off the bench. Since everybody's so worried about who starts, who comes off the bench. Okay, fine. Klay comes off the bench. But if he's playing with CP3 and Sarge and still getting his 30 minutes, I'm good with that because those two guys help create for Klay Thompson and help create open shots.
The thing that I think both of us are getting at without saying it out loud, they just might not have the dogs or the horses or whatever, the players, the dudes. They just might not have the studs on their roster. Like, that happens. That happens. Like, everything comes to an end. I don't know if we're there yet. Right. I don't know. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't think Moses Moody is an all-star. You know how hard it is to be an all-star in the West? I don't think he'll ever be one, all right? So I'm not here pretending like they're holding back an all-star. No. I think he's slightly better than the amount of minutes that they're giving him. I think he can do more for this team, right? And I don't think Klay being completely iced out is going to solve their problems. I think they need Klay, considering what else they have on the roster. Who else you want shooting? Who else you want making plays? You trust Wiggins to be consistent for a month?
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But here's the deal. Drew Down's asking on YouTube, what up, Drew Down? If they win, are you guys having this conversation? Absolutely not. But they didn't win. They lost the game. And how did they lose the game? Because you can sit Sacramento to the free throw line 42 times.
Doesn't body of
work matter? You turned the ball over 21 times. And you know what Sacramento did? They scored 26 points off those 20 turnovers.
I mean, just look at the body of work.
So
the last 2 seasons.
Well, I'm just isolating the game. I'm isolating the game. And last season to me was an anomaly because of what happened in training camp. It wrecked the season. I won't pivot off of that. But this year, you get a little older. And you want to keep the turnovers down, and it's pretty ironic. Chris Paul gets hurt, and the turnovers go right back up.
He's been really good.
I don't think it's ironic.
I think it's like reality of how important he is to this team.
Steph committed 5 turnovers. Draymond committed 4. Andrew Wiggins committed 3. Klay Thompson had 3. They've had the starters, so it's not one person that just blame.
No, and Draymond deserves way more criticism today than what we're giving him. He was amazing.
What about this season, Jasky? What about this season?
I'm all over that.
Because everybody every day in my timeline is talking about Wiggins and Klay.
Well, Draymond's
and I
skating.
love Draymond.
No, he's skating. He played great for 2 quarters, and then in the 4th quarter, completely lost emotional control. How could you, even if the biggest Draymond fan, how could you watch that game in the 4th quarter and say, damn, a big part in why this team completely lost composure is Draymond was unhinged.
Yeah.
Obsessed with officiating, worried about flopping, like demanding that officials go back 3 plays earlier. It's like, nah, man, just freaking play basketball.
Steph turnovers are bad.
Steph's really bad.
And I love
he's getting
Steph.
Hunted on defense.
Right, he is getting hunted. I get it.
No one wants to talk about that.
No, he's always been getting hunted.
No, but it's been pretty prevalent because they don't have other guys around him that can kind of hide him. Like,
I agree.
Yes, he always has. But this year more than any other, because you don't have defensive personnel out there, it's becoming more clear.
I'm going to play this cut from October 24th. Right, Lubman? October 24th? Here's Steve Kerr on finishing lineups. Because, again, Shasky, you know this. And I've been on this. Everybody was worried about whether or not CP3 is going to start. And I said, who's going to play in the last 5 minutes of the game?
You were on it.
That to me is bigger.
Yep.
Well, here's what Steve Kerr said back on October 24th.
I thought both Kuminga and GP were defending at a high level, and obviously you got to guard, Kevin and Book out there, and so it felt like those guys were defending well, and so we went with them, and that's how it's going to be a lot of nights this year. It's like whoever's playing the best will finish the game.
Whoever's playing the best will finish a game. A lot of nights are going to be like this, and last night was not one of those nights. Because I thought in the second half, Klay got cold, and he got a little erratic there. 1 of 5, 3 points. But I'm good with Klay yesterday because he had a great first half, 17 points. I'm fine with Klay in the first half. I get it's a 4-quarter game, but Klay did what he needed to do. Okay, now who else can step up? Who else can step up in the second half?
Well, I don't trust Kuminga.
I'm looking here. Andrew Wiggins 4 of 8 in the second half.
Not as good.
But 11 points, 8 rebounds in the second half
he
alone.
Had a big-time mid-range shot.
11 points, 8 rebounds in the second half alone.
And
he's basically averaging that all season long.
No, yesterday was his best game of the year.
So I'm good with Wiggins. I'm just going down the line here, Shasky.
Yeah.
Draymond Green, second half.
Not as good as the first. Not even close. It was a tale of two halves.
Not even close. Looney, 2 rebounds in the second half.
And then 2 missed free throws.
Which
were bad.
All right. Steph Curry, 13 points.
And then the missed dunk that they didn't get the foul call on, too.
Yeah, that was bad.
Which we could argue about whether it was foul. Show me the replay.
Yeah, show me the replay. Gary Payton II gets hurt in the second half.
That was crucial.
Quarter.
They lost so much energy because
Dario Saric, 0 for 3.
Well, he missed
0 for 2 and 3.
Yeah, he missed a 3 late.
Yep. 2 points, minus 12 in the plus minus.
The fourth quarter.
Or whatever. But Saric did not have an impact on the game in the second half.
And he got a horrible foul on De'Aaron Fox where he allowed Fox to get into his chest.
There you go.
And then just hacked him. Like, it was just he's got to be smarter than that.
The Warriors.
Domination.
I do kind of love it. Why does my guy look like he could be an extra in the new Napoleon film? And is that just me? Am I the only one?
No, I thought he could be a John Wick villain for sure.
Oh, okay. I love Saric.
So look at that.
I always wanted bedhead as like the look. I could never pull it off. I have to comb it. Like he has the unkept look that like looks good. You know what I'm talking about?
A lot of hair products.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good at that.
So then you go down the list, right? You go down the list here. Jonathan Kuminga played 2 minutes 33
he was
seconds.
Unplayable.
I mean, I don't know. Either play him in a dunker roll because on the perimeter his dribbles are not there, his handles are not there, the shot selection is not there. And I love Kuminga. We're probably the biggest Kuminga fans at the station. We love Kuminga. We everybody knows we went up to Summer League to watch his first ever NBA game. We love JK. I dap up JK every game. Well, last night was not his night. And I don't know where he fits in moving forward. No, he's going to have to play without GP2 and Chris Paul. But I don't know long-term where he's at with this roster. I just don't know. You get to Corey Joseph in 5 minutes. He scores 4 points.
He had a hook shot late. Everyone was like, no.
Yes.
Great shot.
Yes.
Great shot.
I remember, I think in real time, I said,
my God.
Look at the baby sky hook.
Give me a break. The baby.
The junior sky hook.
The
junior sky hook. Magic Johnson.
Oh my
NBA
God.
Finals.
Oh, my God.
And then you get to Moses Moody. And he scored all 11 of his second half points in the fourth quarter. Now, some people look at plus minus. He was a -8. You know how I feel about plus minus.
That doesn't tell the whole story.
Yeah, no, you know.
I like it over the course of a season or over the course of a month.
Exactly.
Or 2 months. Because then you can see
game
some
by
trends.
game. Not game by game. But Moody should have finished.
Yeah.
And to Steve Kerr's point back on October 24th, I'm going to go with the hot hands, basically.
Yeah.
He didn't go with the high hand yesterday. He chose to go with the veterans.
Well, and the Kings, conversely, stayed with their hot hand. What's the guy's name? Alex
Vazenkov. Sasha Vazenkov.
And he made a couple boneheaded plays, but totally made up for it with some big threes.
He's a wild bull.
The guy was making plays. Making
big time plays.
And Mike Brown stuck with him.
Big time plays. So, you know what? Harrison Barnes played 8 minutes, 32 seconds, and Mike Brown did this in the playoffs, where he didn't play Harrison Barnes much in the last 3 games. Steve Kerr has to adjust. And last night, in the second half, it was not Clay's night. And I'm with that. So if you have to be consistent here when it comes to finishing lineups. Andrew Wiggins didn't finish. We just had Anthony Slater on. Go replay the interview on the free Odyssey app, 957thegame.com, wherever you get your podcast. Anthony Slater said it. Andrew Wiggins, we watch every second, every dribble. Wiggins was not finishing early on.
No.
He had to earn it. Yesterday in that second half, Clay was not rolling. Just go with Moody. It's okay. Even if it's for a couple possessions, give Moody some extra time. Maybe Clay needed the extra rest. You bring Clay back in at the 2-minute mark. I don't care. But you cannot take Moses Moody out of that basketball game.
Or play possession by possession, depending on how the whistles were going. But also not having your timeouts was huge.
You burn the timeout on the challenge.
Huge.
With 2:50 left in the game. Now you don't have a timeout. And now you can't call a timeout when Malik Monk banks in that shot to take the lead, 124, 123. You don't have a timeout. Maybe you get a timeout. You set something up with 7 seconds left. Because what we always say about Steve Kerr, one of his strengths is the ATOs, right?
Yeah, out of timeout plays. Can I ask somebody a question? One of the analytic people out there, run the numbers when Draymond goes like this to review something, what the actual percentage is of turnovers where they turn the call around. It's got to be less than 10%. It's like, if Draymond does this, Steve Kerr should just automatically, no, we're
Steve
not.
Kerr told him to chill yesterday. He's like, yo, we're not challenging this.
Well, he said we don't have any timeouts. He literally said to him, like, we will lose the timeout. And then they did it like 2 plays later for Steph Curry. But like, I swear to God, Dre, every foul call, he's like this. Hey, it's where I've got my finger up in the air and I'm doing like a circular thing, like it's a home run trot.
You know what?
Stop reviewing Draymond fouls.
Alan Styles is another tweet away from catching some strays here.
Why is that?
It's tagged me to tweet. Kings finally bullied the bully. Warriors fans who don't understand economics are claiming collusion. Can the Kings go back-to-back like Drizzy? It's a beautiful day here in Sacramento.
Okay, I'm going to set the record.
Die-hard Kings fan,
Alan, I love you. I love you. Like Klay Thompson, put the phone down. Put the phone down. You can miss a play. It's okay. You'll get it on the next one. All right? Guys like playing with guys who pass. All right?
You should have seen the way he came at Laker fans.
He still has the ghosts of Lakers fans past, if we're doing a little Christmas carol. Because we're all up in his business because it was always the refs. You don't want to come out the Laker fans on social. I'll tell you that much right now. They will find every single thing you've ever tweeted.
The refs.
Yeah,